Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our channel. We are Gena and
Derek.
And you're watching D&G Thrifts.
D&G
Thrifts.
All right, so we are a brand new thrifting channel.
But we've been thrifting for years.
We're resellers. He's been a reseller for longer than I have been because I stopped for a little bit, but he kept going. So, and we sell on eBay.
Yeah,
And,
mostly eBay.
Yeah. And our store, I guess, what do we call a store, started in 1998.
Yeah, so we've been basically at the beginning of eBay. We were pretty much there because I'll tell the story.
Go ahead.
So it all started with Antiques Roadshow. And it also all started with me having collections of all sorts of stuff. And I had piles of collections of stuff not a hoarder, but I picked up a whole bunch of stuff.
Hoarder.
And every single one of the Antique Roadshow, the guys would come in and say, this belonged to my grandpa or my uncle, and he died, so now I'm going to sell it and make all the money on it. And I thought, why am I holding all this stuff for some distant relative to sell in 100 years and make all the money? Why don't I just sell it? So eBay came along, and I just started selling all my collections. And it felt good to get rid of a lot of stuff. And when we first started, it was just fun because I would sell something and we'd have enough money for a pizza when we first got married.
Yeah.
And it's like, we would go out to dinner. It's like, oh, eBay's paying for this.
It made a huge difference
in
our lives because we were just starting out. We didn't have extra fun money and we didn't get to go out to eat. But once we started selling on eBay, we had extra cash. And it changed our lives.
It did. And then there was a couple points in there back in the late 90s where I was making more per month on eBay than I was at my job. Not that I had this great paying job, but I made more on eBay than that. And that just felt like, at the time, I thought, well, I could do this for a living. But of course, things changed and didn't. But now, right now, we're kind of doing it for a living. So.
Yeah, well, sort of, because by trade, you're an editor.
Right, I'm an editor, but with all the strikes and everything, I kind of got everything just shut down.
Yes.
And
we're in between jobs right now.
Right.
So thrifting and reselling on eBay
makes a huge difference.
Helping us out once again, like when we were first married.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, did I mention we're married?
Yes.
Husband and wife. Did I say that?
I don't know if you did.
I don't know.
Yeah, we are.
But we are.
Yeah,
28 years. Just celebrated 28 years.
Yeah. 28
years. So what we're going to do on the channel is we're going to show you what we've picked up for the week. And then
and by the way, we thrift like almost every single day of the week.
We kind of do.
Yeah. So we're out and about at least 4 days a week.
It's a job.
So anyway, sorry.
And then we'll also show you as the weeks go on, as things sell, what we've sold and what it's sold for and kind of what we picked it up for. And so as you follow along, you'll actually go, oh, yeah, I remember that. They bought that a couple weeks ago. Sometimes stuff you buy on at thrift stores, it might take up to a year to sell it. Yeah. And other times, the moment you post it, it's sold. So it's not even how much you put it on for. It's just you have to find the right person at the right time that really wants that item. So.
Yep. All right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you now the things that we picked up. Each of us picks up different things. I'm more of a guy stuff, and you're more of a girl stuff.
My first stop is always clothing, and then I hit the like knick-knack sort of things. And so you actually do clothing too.
I do, but
he
I always
goes to the guy department.
I usually hit the electronics and stuff like that
and
first.
I don't do electronics at all.
And then I hit the clothes, and then I hit the knick-knack stuff, just in case something got squirreled away that I just have to get. So.
Yeah. All right. So.
Okay. So let's show some stuff.
Yeah. Let's. We have our piles here.
So what we'll do is we'll show a couple items. Do you want to show the me show or me show?
Yeah, I can go first. Here, you hold the microphone, and we're going to be getting. We only have one mic right now, but we're going to be getting another soon. Okay, so the first thing, now this is what I've picked up this week. So this is actually something different than what I would typically pick up. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan.
I am.
He is. He's you saw me grab
Oh, yeah.
this and you're like Gryffindor. But so when I'm at the thrifts, I will look up what's something like this. I guess they call them comps.
Yeah, that's a new term I've seen on these videos. I've never used that term before. I don't know if I
I
will.
guess it's like comparisons, like
We'll
comparison,
just say we looked it up.
or I'll say comps. I'll be
Okay.
hip. I'll say the comps. So I looked up comps, and they were sold for like in the 20-ish dollar range, 25. So it's not like a huge return. Like I paid $8.99 for this sweatshirt. So this is what it looks like. I haven't listed it yet on my page, my eBay page, which we actually we didn't say we have two separate eBay.
We do.
Yeah. So
We'll post them down here.
yeah, the name of my eBay and the name of his. So that's the first thing. That's first thing.
First thing.
So now you show
Okay.
yours.
This is just something I just started picking up. I've been hitting the hat section because I've done really well, and there have been a couple nice hats. And this hat is a Tilly hat, and I forget which the model number is. It's a Canadian hat, so it's not a Chinese hat. It's a made in Canada. It's like a boonie hat kind of, and it has two neck pieces, I guess, to tie around, and you can chin straps.
Yeah.
And you can also go around, but it's actually a size hat and a 7 1/4. And I think I took the tag out of it, but I think I paid like $2.99 for it. Hats are really cheap, and sometimes you can find a really good. I just bought a couple weeks ago. I bought a whole bunch of English caps, and I paid $2.99 each, and I sold each one for 20. So that's a pretty good return. That's almost $15 minus, without the fees and that sort of thing, per hat. And I picked up 4 hats, so that's not too bad. That's $60. But I'm gonna be putting that on.
Okay, so my next item it's a sweater. I guess, is that vintage?
It's vintagey, yeah.
Vintage S. Fisher.
It's probably 80s.
London. So obviously it came from London, right? And it was in the women's department. I think technically maybe it's a men's sweater, but I think it could go either way. It could be, see how cute it is? It could go either way. So it has like snowflakes, perfect for winter, a nice wool sweater. And I don't remember I don't think I looked up what something like this would go for, but it'd probably be in the $20 range. Yeah. So yeah, that's that.
Okay. And then the next item, I also go for like military stuff if I can find it, depending, particularly Vietnam era or World War II. Not really so much the modern stuff unless it's something really good. But this is an M65 liner for a field jacket. Show you that. And this one's from 91, so it's actually newer. But these actually have a pretty good, not a bad track record. This was $9, $8.99, and probably should get about $25 to $30 for it, because a lot of guys have the M65 field jackets, but perhaps they don't have the liner to go into it, particularly with winter. It's pretty handy. And this jacket liner will fit every M65 from like 1966 all the way up to today, so pick that up.
All right, so my next item is a brand that's one of my favorites. It's Free People, and you can see right there, Free People. Size on this one is a 0. So typically, I don't like to go for like the super tiny sizes because I feel like they just don't, they don't do as well. But like you said, there's tiny women out there who, and it was only $5.99. So again, something that I'm not going to make a ton of money off of, but it's really cute. I think it's like a dress or a tunic top. So, yeah.
All right, and then the next thing I picked up, I also go for a lot of vintage stuff. And being here in Colorado, it's you can get a lot of cool depending where you live, which is kind of interesting. We used to live in California, and one thing you could buy in Southern California is a lot of movie memorabilia stuff or cruise shirts and things that you could only get there. Here, you can kind of only get all this climbing gear and skis and you know, down jackets made all for the mountains and everything. And this is a vintage backpack, and it's made by Alp Sports Incorporated. You can see it there. That's the brand. It's got these leather backs, and then they actually use like a carpet padding as padding on it. That came stock. You can just tell it's old. It's probably from the early 60s, and it was from Boulder, Colorado is where they made them. I looked up the brand a little bit. I'm thinking I paid $6.99 for it, and I'm going to probably put like $200 on it just to see. The big people that buy stuff like this, though, are usually in Asia. They love the old brands and the old American things like that. So I think that's probably who's going to buy this, is a collector out there, because they just love that stuff. More so than local American guys. They just see this as an old crappy backpack. But guys that know, who are in the know, no, it's not. It's something special. So that's going to be going up pretty soon, and I'll let you know how this does in upcoming episodes.
All right, so my next one is another sweater. Sweaters are one of my very favorite things to pick up because usually they typically, if it's a good one, they get you a pretty high return. So this is Urban Outfitters, and I think once again, this is a man's sweater, but it was in the women's department, so it could go either way. It's big. It's it's actually a small. But it's a man's small, so it feels big. It feels like it's an extra large to me. But anyway, it's really cute. It says mellow in pink with this nice brown, and yeah.
So my next item is something else I pick up. Again, I pick up guy stuff. And boots are one thing I always look for. I always go to the shoe section. I'm always looking for vintage tennis shoes, boots, or something unusual. I don't look for like normal shoes, but I'm always looking for unusual stuff. And I saw this pair of boots, and so I thought, oh, that's looking interesting. And then I noticed that they're Doc Martens. They're not their traditional Doc Martens. They have a little bit of wear on them. As you can see, they're not perfect. They don't look perfect. But they're still a pair of Doc Martens, and they were only $7.99. And I think these are called Jacobs, or begins with a J. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it down here. I looked up when I was at the store. I wasn't doing comps. I was just looking up
You said comps.
what things sell for. And I think these they can get like $40 for them or something like that, in that range for a pair of used ones. So it's worth picking up because that's a quick $20 or so.
That's something I need to. Hey,
Oh.
did you know that was there?
No, I didn't. I just noticed this.
Oops.
The sole's a little loose, so
What do you do for that?
I might just glue it.
Can you glue it?
Yeah, I can probably glue it.
Wow.
Or I return it. And
Oh yeah, you can. We can return within a week.
that's the nice thing about this stuff is you can return. So I won't be selling these. I did not catch that, and that's probably why that's something that if you go to the thrift store, a lot of times when you find a piece of clothing, look it over really well because there's usually a reason it's at the thrift store.
Okay, so the reason we actually have two different eBay stores, and you probably don't remember this, but way back, we were both listing things at the same time on this one channel. And sorry, but you weren't as thorough back then. I don't think he wasn't like
I'm a guy,
yeah,
so.
he like I looked things over much better than he did. So, and eBay was different back then, like with anyway, I was afraid we were getting too many not good feedbacks because he would overlook something. So that's why I suggested, why don't you make your own eBay and I'll make my own. So yeah, that's the backstory on that.
Yeah.
But he's gotten much better.
I've improved.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's kind of disappointing.
It is.
But that's part of the thing. It's like you'll pick something because you can't look at everything, and obviously I missed that one. But let's move on to the next one.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's
All
what
right,
it is.
so my next thing. So another brand, it's another sweater. Another brand I really love to pick up or look for are clothing that comes from Anthropologie. So this particular one is Maeve from Anthropologie. And this is actually, they still make this style, not this pattern though. So I'm curious to see how this will do. So I paid only $5.99 for the sweater. It's practically like new. I kind of want to keep it for myself. That's a problem I kind of run into is I find things and I want to keep them for myself.
How many sweaters do you own?
I own a lot of sweaters.
That's the thing too of going to the thrift store is like this is the thrift store.
So is this sweater?
Most of my clothing, except for underwear and socks, is thrift store because it's like you go there. It's like why would you spend $70 at a store for an Adidas sweatshirt when you can pick one up for $12.99? Or if you go on eBay, you can pick one up for half that. For $29.99. It's still cheaper than buying it brand new. And once you wear it, it's not brand new. So that's how I always look at it. As long as it's in good shape. So.
Right. So this sweater I should get maybe 30 something for this. So that's that should be a pretty good profit. And you know what? We didn't mention this earlier, but I think we're still trying to like iron out what this channel is going to be like. So it's gonna evolve over time, but we were thinking of like doing almost like a contest, like who sells the most.
Like on the shows where like Storage Wars or something where you're like
who has the best week or who.
Yeah. Gena did a better week this week.
Well, I doubt it. He does so much better than I do, but
I just pick bigger things, I guess, money wise.
Yeah, stuff worth more money.
Yeah.
Where I go for like the little bread and butter, I guess.
Yeah, but it all adds up. That's the thing.
It does. You don't have anything else,
I have one more
right?
thing.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I got one more pair of boots. This is another thing I pick up boots because I just like boots. This is a pair of what I've always called a Vasquet, but it's actually Vasque. These are the vintage.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, vintage. I'll show you the logo there. These are vintage mountaineering hiking boots. Again, we're in Colorado. So, but these were sold all over, and in the 70s, hiking became kind of a big thing in America and actually all over the world. And these boots kind of came out. I'm sure you've seen these. I had a pair of these with the red laces as a kid.
I think I have a pair. Didn't you find me a
Yeah,
pair?
I found you a pair.
Yeah, I have a pair.
But
I've never worn them, but...
No, because they weigh like 12 pounds.
Yeah, in case we ever go hiking in the mountains, I have a pair.
But they're really nice. They usually have Vibram soles. These actually have a different type of sole, which I just discovered called a Skywalk. So I think they probably just added those at a certain time in between from... Anyway, that's another story. But usually they're made in Italy. The vintage ones are. The new ones aren't. And I paid $9.99 for these and easily should get $60 to $70 for this pair of boots. So because they've already broken in, but they're not destroyed. So.
Okay, and then I just have one. Well, I have one more sweater. One more sweater. Shocking, I know. So this is a brand that I typically will pick up, especially if it's in a bigger size like this, and it is Sundance. And this one is an extra large. And it's just a nice open front cardigan. Sundance makes such nice quality clothing. I just love it. I don't own any.
You did?
No, I did.
Years ago, I bought you a Sundance thing. Because
What was
the
it?
lady
That
I used
sounds
to
familiar.
the lady I used to work for was telling me about how much she loved Sundance.
What was it that?
I don't even remember what it was.
Was it a hat?
I don't know. I
I
remember
have a lot of hats too.
Yeah, I do too.
Both of us.
But I bought it for you.
I do remember
catalog.
that, but I don't remember what it was.
Might have even been jewelry.
I think it was jewelry. A necklace. Was
Yeah.
it turquoise?
Maybe.
I think so. Gosh.
Yeah, I just remembered that when you said
Yeah.
Sundance. It's like, oh yeah.
But anyway, this one I didn't do comps on this one, but I know I'm going to make money off of it. like I said, what did I say I paid? $5.99. So, I mean, I should get at least 30. We'll see, but
Again, you have the best intentions that your item's going to get this amount, and sometimes it doesn't.
and now like we always put like make an offer
Yeah,
on
always
our
do make an
stuff.
offer because there's always that guy, and usually it's almost like Craigslist, or if you ever put something on there or on Facebook, it doesn't matter what you put it up for, someone's always going to offer you exactly half.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, you could put 25 cents and someone will offer you 12 and a half cents. You know, it's weird how they do that. But
Right.
eBay's a little bit like that. But sometimes you get the guy that, they see a value and they know it's a good deal. Because, I was the one that had to drive out to the thrift store, go through all the stuff, find it,
Right. It's a
list
lot of
it.
work.
It is
It's
a lot of work.
tiring. We come home exhausted.
If you have a little extra money, it's easier just to get on eBay and just buy it directly and not have to try to find it. Actually, I do. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay myself. I buy and sell. We both do. So
Yeah. Well, you more than me.
maybe. You have
Okay.
more?
Yeah, I have a couple more things. So another thing I really enjoy, and I collect mugs. So I'm
Yes.
always looking. So this is Anthropology. This particular one is no longer made. So, and these don't bring in a ton of money, but like this one, I might get $15 to $20 for it. I think I paid $2.99
But how much was it
or
new?
$1.99. Brand new, it was probably 15, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're not that expensive, but I collect mugs and I just enjoy, even if I'm not making a ton of money off of these, I love them. So I want to share them. I want to find them and send them out into the world. So now this one, this is different. This is not Anthropology. This caught my eye because it's birds, and I love birds. I'm a huge bird lover. This one is Villeroy and Bach. And here's, once again, this is my issue. Do I want to keep this or do I want to sell it?
She wants to sell it.
He wants me to sell it. I'll probably sell it. It's so unusual, though. Look at that. It's got like, it has a name. I looked it up. I can't remember what it's called. It's like swirl, I think. A swirl or a twist mug. It was so unusual. And I think I'll probably get like 20 to 30 for this. So, as much as I love it, I'll probably sell it. We'll see. We'll see. And then finally, something else I always go looking for is planters because I am a huge plant lover. And let me just show you just real quick. You can see my plants.
Some of the plants.
Some of the plants. So I look for planters and I found these. There's 3 of them and they're Longaberger. I don't know if that'll show up.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna sell them. They're pretty cute. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, now what we do, I can't show you the pre because this is our first episode, but I was just going to do one item, tell you that I picked up last week because I've already shipped it out, and then you're going to do the same thing. I picked up something last week that I had never actually seen at a thrift store. I was aware of it. I've never seen one in real life, but I do have video of when I found it, and I'll throw that up now. I found a Flowbee in a box. If you're not familiar with Flowbee, it's the vacuum haircut system. And I think it was $14.99, whatever. There's a video with the price. And it just sold, and I'll show you that here. I think it was for $70. So that was a really good profit. That was, by the time you do the eBay fees, it's probably about $45 or so in profit. And he's already got it, and he hasn't complained yet. So I'm hoping it.
Yeah.
I-
You always cross your fingers and cross your toes.
Right.
And
There's always that one guy that, and you can usually tell, as just if you're going to be selling something, if you get an email before he makes a bid, and it's just you just know something's wrong, the way it's worded and the attitude.
basically they'll be like a complainer.
They
Like,
complain
you can
even before
kinda-
they buy it.
Yeah, you can you just kind of sense that there might be problems.
Right. They just sound wrong. And then usually I will not try to sell it to them. as much as I can because I know they're going to come back and then they're going to find a loose string or they're going to say, oh, the blue is more dark blue than blue or, it's
Yeah.
like, anyway.
The thing that scares me the most, or I don't know about scares me, but the thing that I have the worst trouble with is if someone's going to complain, typically it's because the measurements, like I measured wrong and I don't. I mean, I measure correctly, but it's like just a millimeter shorter than what I said. And it's like, well, it's not this size. So that's where, yeah.
You do get that problem. So that's part of eBay.
Oh,
this is Nora.
This is Nora. We have Nora and we have Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where Nikki is, but
But she
Nora likes to do this.
Yeah.
You want me to get her down?
No, just let her naturally. What was the item that you've sold recently?
Oh, okay. So the item I sold is this is so funny. I sold it's a Talbot's brand blouse with dogs all over it, like all different breeds of dogs. And I paid $5.99 for this blouse and I sold it for $34.99. So that was a pretty decent profit there. And yeah, that's that. I haven't had a ton of sales yet since I've started back selling again on eBay, but I'm working up to it. I'm filling my shop.
Well, good.
And by the way, my shop is called Magnolia. What's that? Is it asterisk? A star?
Yeah, asterisk.
Asterisk, Magnolia, asterisk, Park. And we can have, we'll have.
I'll have it below. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have it in the description.
And I'm Happy Hooligan 70.
Happy Hooligan 7.
And I'll have it below here. So that's our channel.
Yeah.
Basically, it's going to be thrifting with us, sometimes with Nora. She'll have special guest appearances.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe this will be a regular thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, our channel will probably evolve over time.
Right.
But
But at
yeah,
least try to get a video once a week of everything we
Yes.
found and what things have sold for
Yes.
that maybe you've seen. So hopefully
Yeah.
those boots will be sold. I assume they're going to sell pretty fast. I would assume.
we'll see.
We'll see, though.
Yeah.
Things always.
You never know.
You never know.
So, all right. Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.